Hey, what is going on, you dead set legends? And I hope you're happy wherever you are around the world. And I'll tell you, could we just be having one of the most exciting times in arm wrestling? Of course, you can see from the thumbnail. We'll get into that. Man, oh man. We'll address some issues that's been happening over the last 24 hours. And I tell you, yesterday, wow. That's all I can say about yesterday. I can say a lot more, and I will say a lot more, but wow. It was a busy day. And thank you to two of my close friends. We were just on the phone a lot, and it was a good day. It was a good day. Man, did I feel like a celebrity. Oh my God. It just went bang. And my phone blew up. I had close to 25 missed calls, billions of messages and things like that. And I'll get to you some questions later on. We can address a few things, maybe stir the pot a little bit more. We could, but I want to talk about what could possibly happen with Devon and Vitali. Okay, I just want to say hi to everyone first for chiming in, including Joe Nelson. What's going on, my man? What a star Joe is. Anthony Bartolotta's in there. Ready bang. Tony Rizzo is in there. Did Engen ring you after yesterday's upload? No. Might have got a copyright strike from a video 15 months ago from him, but no phone call. Matt Rhodes isn't the guest, but I am trying to get Matt Rhodes on the show very, very soon. Matt is a friend of mine, and I'd love to have him on the show to talk everything about it. Clerks is in the chat. Phil Woody is in the chat. What is going on? Oh, yeah, JR Williams. I'm not going scorched earth. That was just one little thing. I was tagged in a video on Instagram. Oh, man. Is it true Vitali simply doesn't want to travel? I don't know. This is why, Dan, I'm really, really excited about a poster the Siberian Power Show put out. So it's not just a fan making a graphic. The Siberian Power Show has put this out. This is something that Matt Rhodes is heavily involved in. I'll put the Instagram post up in a minute. Just quickly want to say hi to people, and we'll go back and forth. Of course, we'll go back and forth. Swedish Arm Wrestling TV is in the house. What's going on? The Drew 24 is hanging around. How are you, Drew? Nick wants it at the Shaw Classic. So I do have a poll. You've all seen it when you've come in. Do you want it in Baku, Azerbaijan? Do you want it in the Shaw Classic? Or do you want it now at the Siberian Power Show? Everyone picking Shaw Classic knowing it's not possible. No, everyone's picking the Shaw Classic because if we can have two of the best arm wrestlers in the world in front of a brand new audience, in front of Brian Shaw, who has 2 million subscribers just on YouTube alone, who is also having a match at Brian Shaw's event. I believe a lot of people would be picking Brian Shaw's event because of the exposure. Two of the best. Two non-looking humans. If anyone has seen Vitali in person, and I have, and a quick funny story about Vitali, when I got one of the times I arrived in Dubai, I was a bit tired. I've checked into the hotel, trying to do my bag, drag my bag upstairs, and I hit the elevator button and the door's open and it's just Vitali. How you going, mate? there you go. And he's a really nice guy. Actually, he always asks about my family and things like that. So respect to Vitali. But I think that's why a lot of people are picking the Shaw Classic. That's what I think. Let's have a look. Everyone's saying hi to each other. So just quickly, I received a privacy complaint. Although it doesn't have any effect on my channel, and legality reasons, I had done nothing wrong. It could lead up, and then just as I was relaxing with my wife, phone pops up. April 2024, you've received a copyright strike from one person. So I was like, oh, okay. So he's coming to destroy my channel. That's cool. But no, so I chose with that. I thought, okay, I've let people know. And, I thought I was just making a video, blew up, and that's fine. The phone was going nuts. And so, so I'll put it on private because I've never had a privacy complaint before. I've never dealt with that with YouTube. My channel's been relatively good with all that. Got my first copyright strike last night as well. So very interesting, very interesting. So I put it on private because someone or multiple people, not sure, it doesn't tell you, it's very vague, put in a privacy complaint. I thought, well, we'll just hold on to a channel for just a little bit longer. Robbie's in the house. Ready, bang. James Woodward. Hi, Jake. Devon destroys Vitali. What's going on, James? Your Camille interview went viral, it seems. Yeah, it's quite funny. It was quite funny. No, the call wasn't AI. Just quickly, if you actually go to the 98%, the gentleman who was on the other side of the call has a chat about it all. He's also on my latest post, gave his clarification and side of things. So, no. You've got Vitali winning. Thanks, Big J MMA. Yes, he lives in Moscow. He lives in Moscow. Ready, bang, says Jeremiah. What's going on? We all want it. We all want this match, and it's going to be great. And I'll put the post up. I just want to say hi to everyone. I love to say hi to everyone first. I'm still just waking up a bit. It was a exhilarating but exhausting day yesterday with everything that was going on in the arm wrestling world and everything. Like even at the footy match that I was commentating, that was a really good day. Thanks, Living Being. Thanks, mate. What else? What else have we got? Yeah. I mean, I might not do it today, but I could go back through all the past videos and once again just poke holes in everything. But everyone... Yeah, but if you go looking for it, you know what I mean? Like, if you go to Devon's channel... there's not much about it. Maybe on his stories, like he just shared a story that Hermes was the easiest match he ever had on his Instagram. Yes and no, because if you're someone new coming into the sport, and this is what I see, and this isn't a go at you, Stizzy, but I'm seeing this a lot, and they're like, Jake, you're really hurting the sport with your stunt yesterday. And it's like, no, for multiple reasons. One, the internet forgets. A lot of people will hold on to grudges and things like that. But the majority of the internet forget. If you look at all the stuff that has gone on. Two, I found it very interesting that those people were like, why'd you go after him like that? Leave him alone. But you were all happy to go tooth and nail against Ryan Bowen over the weight cut. And I just found that really interesting. It's like, okay, we can only go hammer and tongs at one person. We just have to leave someone, like, even if they're treating people like shit and lie. So I just found it all very, very interesting. But no, new people coming into the sport will just be watching highlights. They'll be watching me call Levan in a King's move. Oh, my God, people can't let that go. So this is another thing I find funny, that Haristo makes a video, says he made a mistake with Devon and Kadetra, and everyone's like, oh, my God, Haristo, that's amazing. Oh, referees are admitting their mistake. This just shows, when you blindly hate someone like me, I find this funny. And then, of course, Ozzy should never be a commentator because he said Levan was in a King's move, which I admitted that I was wrong seconds after. So, yeah, I mean, it's one for the other. Right, let me scroll down. So Al-Sem says Russia and Azerbaijan are currently having issues. Can't get Vitali even into Baku now. But they're trying to get him into America. And this is where I like the Siberian Power Show. This is what I like. So this is when I'll get Matt Rhodes on the show and have a chat about it. Let me scroll down. Guys, stop repeating quick. I've answered. People are asking the same question that I've already answered. Oh, cheers, my man. Cheers, buddy. Hopefully I can get over and hang out with you in the future, my man. Get over and hang out. But thank you very much. Thank you. Right. So I just want to share this, because I think this is exciting on many, many levels. So obviously the poster from the thumbnail, it was sent to me, and Siberian Power Show, they've teamed up with ArmVox News. Never heard of ArmVox News. And it says, well, you didn't expect such a turnaround. Not so long ago, Matt Rhodes, former co-owner and king at the table and the man directing the strongmen to the Siberian Power Show, shared exclusive insight with our editorial board. Said he's currently in daily talks with Devon and East versus West League management about his arm fight against Vitaly Laletin in East versus West tournament at the Siberian Power Show in early 2026. Yes, you didn't hear, and this is the translation from Instagram. East versus West may come to Australia, to Russia. At this stage, Devon Larratt has one condition. He will agree to come to Siberia if Matt Rhodes takes over the organisation of the tournament, because Devon has a lot of trust in Matt. Matt, in turn, tries to negotiate with East versus West management to agree to the adventure in principle, as Devon has a contract with the league. In general, the negotiation is going on in a positive way. Stay tuned to our channel. We'll keep you up to date. So, yeah, I'm sure Matt Rhodes will come out soon. Hopefully he comes on the channel and talks about it. Why am I excited about this happening in the Siberian Power Show? Yes, we'll have to wait till early next year for this one. But it is literally, well, I don't know, literally, I'm just going to assume, down the road from Vitali. Down the road. In his hometown-ish. In Russia. This has got Rocky IV all over it. How good would that be? Devon trains. They're playing Hearts on Fire in the background. He goes to Russia. It's snowing. And then if he beats Vitali, I hope he quotes Rocky IV. How good would that be if it happens in Russia early next year? Amazing. I think that would be, fantastic. Fantastic. So Rashid says, you making fun of England was disappointing. I just spoke about a video and said you can't abuse other people. That's all I said. That's all I said. The problem is when you're on YouTube, people hear what they want to hear. People assume what they want to assume. Uncle John's in the chat. What's going on, buddy? What is going on? Jake, no one is going to watch the Siberian Power Show. I think, Joe, everyone is going to watch Devon and Vitali. That's all. I just like the Rocky IV timeline. I've been lost in the glitz of glamour of the potential Rocky IV storyline. And then the beauty of it, if Devon wins, there were no excuses. Vitali's hometown, he didn't have to travel, he didn't have to have visa issues. How good would that be? Everyone, Joe, you know I love you, Joe. Everyone will watch Devon and Vitali. If Devon and Vitali was in my garage and I called it, I don't know, something silly, backyard, barnyard battle, Devon and Vitali, we're all handing over our money to watch that one. How good would that be? Mythagoras, thank you very much for the super chats. He says, you gave the Deal or No Deal host a run for his money charisma-wise. You were the real deal. Thanks, mate. No, I appreciate it. If you haven't watched the Deal or No Deal episode, I can't remember where the link is for those overseas fans. God, it was a lot of fun. God, it was so much fun. And a lot of good stuff was edited out, but they put in a lot of the best bits as well. So it was awesome. It was awesome. But thank you very much. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and the host was thanking me a lot. He was thanking me a lot. I was even telling him during the breaks. I said, buddy, have the day off. I got it here. Don't even try and chime in. I've got it. Thanks, mate. Mad respect for not worrying about the afterclap of posting that video. I've never worried. I've never worried too much. I'm a big softy at heart. I don't give a shit about a lot of things, and especially, lunatics. I don't really care about that. I don't really care. I don't. When you've been treated bad for years, yeah, I don't care at all. I don't like what's happened recently with the boycott. So for me, just briefly on this, and I'm trying to say it without attacking and without conviction. With this, what I assume is an orchestrated boycott from the Eastern European athletes. If someone loved the sport that much and loved the athletes that much and was so dear to it and believed in the growth of the sport and said in previous videos, I want to give it to other owners and they take it to the next level, quote, unquote. Wouldn't you then become public and say, guys, if it wasn't orchestrated, wouldn't you say, guys, why don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. Don't leave East versus West. Let me and Baxter work it out. I've sold the company. I've quit. I might have seller's regret, but don't do it. Don't do it. For the good of the sport. For the good of the sport, don't do it. Don't walk out. If it wasn't an orchestrated walkout, because there's a lot of copy and paste. All the things sound the same. So if I were in that position, which I have been before, I would be telling the European athletes, calm down, hold your horses, stick with EVW. I'm going to work out my issues to see how I can get back in the fold and we make this all good again and we make it work again. That's what I would be doing if I was such a leader of the sport. That's me. Well, no, I'm not saying this Siberian Power Show is guaranteed. I'm just saying it could be an option. And, because we've got to understand August is in 4 weeks. Baku apparently is in 4 weeks. And then 6 weeks is Brian Shaw Classic. So the Siberian Power Show is not until early next year. What's going on, Roy Baker? You think if you tell... Yeah, that's probably not ideal. That's probably not ideal. But it's very interesting. Yeah, man. But I just got blinded by the Rocky IV timeline. Yeah, I know why you're having it at the Shaw Classic. I know. Stop yelling at me, Joe. Stop yelling at me. Oh, people can come after me. That's fine, Mark. That's fine. I know you're a good supporter and things like that. Yeah, and I've been a bit busy this year. Not going to lie, have been enjoying some time off to stay at home and pursue other projects. But yeah, I did find it all funny. What was it called? Got so angry and then just started yelling, he worships the devil. He worships the devil. It's like, mate, come on. Thank you very much, Mark. Yeah, my wife is beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I find that traveling to America has gotten that. I find that interesting, a battle of it. So very interesting. J.R. Williams, yes. Thank you very much, Nick. Thank you very much. Well, I'm a bit behind in the comments. So let me go to the poll. So it seems like the Shaw Classic at the moment is the favourite. Hey, get in there and hit the like button. Hit the like button while you're there. And I'll leave that poll up for a little bit, but it looks like the Shaw Classic is the runaway thing. Maybe I was wrong about the Siberian Power Show. Maybe it was my blind that I really enjoy. I'm friends with Matt Rhodes and the Rocky IV timeline. Maybe I was blinded by that. G'day, Red Cap Man. I'm with you, but instead, this was happening. Okay. Oh my God. What else have we got? No, Mark, Joe's a good friend of mine. So this is what I found funny. What's your thoughts about having a rules committee to debate and decide by the majority of the rules? I found it funny when Camille, and I'm friends with Camille, so no one take this the wrong way, but you all saw the interview, and I just found it funny that everything was Devon's fault and everyone was worried about the rules changing. And it's like, Devon's whooped you all under Engen's rules, and you're blaming the referees and the rules, and somehow it was Devon's fault. And I was like, this is insane. I couldn't comprehend what was going on. And thank you for everyone messaging me But yeah, look, we need to do something about the rule set, because when I go on so many international trips, and sometimes you can slip and stumble on your commentary because I go to this event and they've got that set of rules. And then I've got to go over and learn a new set of rules over here. And then I'm there and they've got a different set of rules. And I'm over there, different set. So then sometimes when I'm working for different promotions, I can lose my train of thought. I'm like, hang on, was that a pin? Was that a foul? Are we running fouls? So that's slip and lose position. So we need a universal set of rules. Oh, so if people want to know if the phone call was real, this was the guy on the other end of it. This is Ted. And Ted and I have been speaking and wanted to confirm that the phone call was real. And Ted was awesome. Ted is a good dude. I didn't watch much of you. If you want to hear Ted's side of the story, go to the 98%, especially at the start. I believe Ted explains everything there. Hope you didn't run my name in the mud too much, Ted. No, I'm only joking. You can say whatever you like, mate, because you were the one that copped an absolute spray on the other end of the phone call. An absolute spray. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Got my Norwegian jumper on. Met a lady from Norway yesterday. It was so random in Australia. G'day, mate. How are them shrimp on the barbie? Nice. They are nice. Alrighty. Let's have a look. No, Engen never threatened me. He never threatened me. I just got a privacy complaint. It didn't say who. The copyright strike from a video 15 months ago was from Engen, and that's fine. But no, it was just a privacy complaint. So I was like, oh, okay. All right, then. I'll put it on private just in case. Because privacy complaints, no. I was never threatened. We haven't spoken. No. I want to put that out there. This one's for the unapologetic Patriot. This one's for Ted. Yeah, it's quite funny. I can't remember. I tried reading some comments, but then I was just like, I cannot understand the arm wrestling world at the moment. I just can't believe so much. Like, I've got just a complete list for everything that's going on, and then I get tagged in a video of a phone call, and then I make a video about it when there are other messages being leaked, but I'm still, out of all this, I became, in a lot of people's eyes, enemy number one. And I was like, all right, cool, all right, whatever. No, I didn't get a YouTube strike from the video I made about a phone call. I got a privacy complaint. We need a rules committee. What do we need to change? What do we need to change in the rules? Do we currently like the format for East versus West? So, like, if Devon and Vitali pull the Shaw Classic, do we just want to keep the same? Do we just want to keep the same? I'm going back to my poll. Okay, 250 votes, the Shaw Classic. So now I'll ask the question, and I'll ask this quite a lot. I'll ask quite a lot. Who wins? Devon or Vitali? Who wins? Hang on. Let me fix that. There we go. So let's get in there. Who wins? So let me know what We need a rules committee. So everyone thinks that Devon just changes the rules and they click for him. I haven't seen the rules change at East versus West for a while, but I also haven't been following them because I find rules meetings one of the most boring things in the world. And I've been at some doozies. Actually, one of my favorite rules meetings, I think because I was just enjoying the moment, I'm just there in a rules meeting and there was Levan, Erdemes, John Brezink, Dennis Zaplenkov, Coach Ray was with me, Matt Rhodes, Sabine Badalescu, Pavlo. But I was just more like, wow, like, how cool is this? How cool is this that I'm able to sit here in the rules reading? Okay, what else have we got? My opinion using the MAC rules for everything, thought was perfect. I thought it was the future of the sport. Interesting. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm sure you've copped it as well, my man. I'm sure you've copped it as well. It was some interesting times. Also, while we're here, I want to book more matches for the Shore Classic. Or if we do have a divide and an agreement's not made and the Eastern European athletes sit there and sit on their bums, if someone really, as I mentioned before, if someone really loves the sport and wants to change it and make it better, probably get on the phone to all the Eastern European athletes and say, go back to EVW, we can make it work. Oh, Zach makes me laugh. I'm 5. Never in my life. You made your bed, now lay in it, being so prevalent. It's great. It is great. I just want to watch arm wrestling, man. Apparently, that's a big ask. Yeah. We all do. We all love arm wrestling, but sometimes the curtain needs to be pulled up. And sometimes it's not as great as everyone seems. So yeah. Well, of course we all just want to watch arm wrestling. We all want to watch Devon versus Vitali. We just can't settle on a location at the moment. My man says, I've been slammed about sharing it. And I'm like, did we all just forget about him sharing out multiple private messages? It's wild how one-sided people really are. People, especially in this situation, have clearly picked sides and they're just going to support whoever they support and make excuses and things like that. So we'll see what the future wins. Rules are fine, but a faster setup. EVW and King of the Table should have been kept separate as friendly rivals with different ownership. Yes. Then one person came in and wrecked it for themselves. I don't think Engen runs the EVW page. I think it's Roman. It could be. I'm not too sure who runs the page anymore. I'm not too sure, Hayden. So we need other sports league have commissioners, which is essentially what Engen was. And then he didn't get his own way, sold the company and quit. So yes, therefore we probably need a new one. And it was probably Baxter or Dexter. Hi, Ozzy. Thank you very much for the super chat. Simon says rule changes. Professional fouls like lifting your elbow like Alex did versus Devon in a losing position should be a loss. Or they need to implement running fouls. Thoughts? Yeah, it's a real tough one because I've been at some events where running fouls have made it really interesting. And then I've seen probably one thing, if they're not going to have running fouls, I think going early should be a foul, not a warning. I think going early should be a foul. Lifting your elbow in a losing position, yeah, but then it's like, it's really hard because everyone, when you get to the B side, everyone thinks, well, you're in a losing position. And I know some people might have a very comfortable hold, but they're like, well, he's not pitting me, but I think I've got a lane. So if I get a restart, I'll win. So then it becomes a fine line of what is a losing position. Yeah, I hate it when they're like down here and they do that. But when some people are on the B side, they're like, oh, I've lost my hand, but he's not pinning me. I feel pretty comfortable. I think in arm wrestling, whatever rule set we have, it's just someone will expose it. So someone will expose the rules. And that's just where we are at arm wrestling at the moment. What else have we got? Yeah. Not ideal, but I'm the bad guy. Jolly Roger, quotes from the Waterboy are welcome here. Quotes from the Waterboy are welcome here. So while we're here, because I want to see if we can get, we're going to have Devon Vitali in Baku, Azerbaijan. Are we going to have it at the Shore Classic in Denver, Colorado? Or are we going to have it at the Siberian Power Show in Russia? Everyone in the comments now, if you're watching right now or you watch it later on, give me a case why. Give me a case why. So I like Siberian Power Show because I like the Rocky IV timeline. I like the Shore Classic because it will open up to so many new fans. So many new fans. So many new fans. And I think an old owner of EVW hates or doesn't like what Brian Shaw is all about. So now part of me wants it there as well. But yeah, that got me good. EVW rules should establish and post on the channel's website. There you go. That's what I mean. It's hard to find out what the right way to go about it is. No, we all love John Brezink. He's the man. What's going on? Chris Island? That's just what I do. And I just love, yeah. Won't go too much into other things that I was seeing throughout it, but I'm still here. Don't know how long for, but I'm still here. Hashtag turn that volume up. Is Devon Larratt the devil? It depends who you ask. And that was another thing. I'll tell you what was a really interesting stat. Go see Todd Zilla's video. And he mentions, like, everyone hates the King's move and they call it the clown move. And let's not change the rules because it's going to go back to a WAL circus. Two things. One, WAL is probably the most popular or most seen arm wrestling promotion on the planet. Two, Todd mentioned, and someone quote me if I'm wrong, that he only used the King's move in 12% of his matches. 12% or 12% of the rounds. That's a very low number. I'm not sure if a lot of people out there understand how it works, but it goes all the way up to 100%. 100% means every single time. So if it's 12%, not much. Not much. I'll tell you the one thing, 12% is correct. I'll tell you the one thing, Captain Tocky. Oh, a question here. Does Engen get kickbacks from the venue he picks in the East? Maybe from WAF. I don't know. Scotland's in the house. What up? What up? Now that I read that, I forgot what I was going to say. Now. Damn, I do love doing live shows because I can't get copyright strike for anything. But I did enjoy, I think Devon is on account. So Georgie Svetkov made a post, I stand with Engen, blah, blah, blah. And Devon commented 10. So if we go through all the people that have made posts, is Devon keeping count? Is he keeping count? So we've got Erdemis, Morozov, Gennady, Prudnik, Rustam, Georgie Svetkov, Terence Opperman. I had them written down somewhere, but I think I've lost I have so many books. Oh, Kalinichenko. Nah, I've lost me bit of paper. I'm trying to think. You guys will know. So comment here. Devon has always supported quick WAS style starts and running fouls. This does not give him an advantage. If anything, it doesn't help him as he can't work his opponents out hand and load so much and play the games and things like that. That's a good point, Dave. I'd love to know Devon's average round versus the average round. But why does he have to pull at Azerbaijan? Why is there a big thing in Azerbaijan? It's let's take everyone's names out of it all. Make it make sense to me. This isn't at you, clerks. This isn't everyone. Make it make sense to me. An agreement was made at a venue. Sorry, one person agrees and organises it to have it at this venue. That one person then gets upset, angry, quits and sells the company and only comes on as an employee. Then that one person who's organising the venue is now not returning his new boss's call. He's not returning his new boss's call. New boss is now under the understanding. He's like, oh, bloody hell. Okay, maybe we're not having the venue anymore because our connections got upset and it's not going to happen. So we're going to move to a new venue. Then the person underneath here gets upset and then announces when he's not with the company anymore and has resigned a couple of weeks prior, so he's quit the company altogether, and announces matches in the venue. So for me, Azerbaijan's off the table. Make it make sense. Make all of this make sense. Ivan Matyuchenko was another one. Camille. There are more than 10. Devon is dumb. He can't count. I don't think he would have noticed like a Terence Opperman. No disrespect to him, He's probably just tagged in a lot of them. So then, okay. So Tony's coming in with something. Wants it in Baku to make the Europeans calm down. Okay, so that's why you want it in Azerbaijan. Got it. Okay, now starting to understand. But then for me, why, I'm talking solely as Jake Ward, the Aussie arm wrestler, as a company business owner. Why on earth would I want to appease a bunch of people that when something didn't go their way, they walked out without an instance? They just walked out, quit, you guys have done wrong. Gone. Why would I want to appease them and say, oh, no, oh, sorry, oh, no, all right, what do you want? Okay, yes. No, I for me, and when I've been coaches of teams or a part of footy clubs, and our best players have got upset at the coach and they've left and gone to another club. Then the coach said, well, I guess we'll have new best players. I guess we'll have a new best and fairest. We'll have, who's going to be the best player at the club now? As in, we'll just get more, we'll have better stars. And then all those people that are sitting, say, 15 to 20 or 15 to 30 ranked in the world now have an opportunity on a stage. And so I just don't know why people are appeasing it. I kind of get what you're saying, Tony. Those 5 names Devon's already beat. Send the rest on. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Everyone's going back and forth. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. They can both happen, though, says Clerks. Would you agree the refs need to be stricter with Devon? This is an interesting one. So does that mean they need to be stricter with Levan charging the table? This is a tough one because I don't see Luke Polsher having problems with anyone. It's I don't think be stricter. If they're intimidated by him, then that's on the ref. That's on the ref. It's a tough one, JR. I'm just trying to think back to the Kadetsha match. I'm trying to. I'm a bit foggy at the moment. Still trying to wake up. But it is interesting. I'm trying to make it all make sense. It's funny. So, yeah, if I won, I'd be like, East, sit on the bench for 6 months. Sit on the bench. I don't know why everyone's trying to clutch at straws and appease to a bloke that has been sabotaging the company. Remember, I'm not saying any names. These are my suggestions. You guys are making the assumptions. But why on earth would I want to appease to someone that has been sabotaging the company? We've seen it in the past. Organisers a boycott. Everyone leaves, and now we're trying to appease him and work something out. No. What I would be doing is going, right, let's see if we can do it. without them. Because there's nothing wrong with getting on there and going, yeah, we were wrong. We probably need some of these Eastern athletes. We probably do, you know. And some of them are great for pay-per-views. I love watching a lot of them pull. But when you deal with people that will leave you in a drop of a hat, I'm not in the business of working with them in the near future. I would see if I can build without it. You know, I want to see if the Shaw Classic does huge numbers and, you know, if Devon leads the charge and suddenly they've booked Ricard Bourneman versus Schoolboy or, you know, Levan, or they get Irakli versus Todzilla again. You know, can Irakli get redemption? Because remember, a lot of those Georgians haven't said anything. I'm not sure if David Samushia said anything. I can't remember. Someone remind me in the comments. But then they give him and he starts smoking people, or he's on the revenge arc to get Paul Lynn again. I want to see. And then let's have a look at the pay-per-view numbers. If they go with the pay-per-view model and they're like, holy shit, like now Brian Shaw's got, whoever, you know, Andrei Samayev in here, you know, Krill's coming in. It's very, very interesting to see what would happen. I reckon that's what I would do now. Because if East versus West wasn't making a profit, then just let them sit on the bench. Let them sit on the bench. And I would be getting, if it were me, and then I'd be with my team, Baxter and Dexter, and I'll be like, right, let's see what we can do. Because I'm sure if you ring from 15 to 30, say, hey, want to come to America? Or we're going to organise an event in Italy. I don't know. I'm just throwing out, or in England or something like that. You know, want to come and pull? Going to be on pay-per-view. I think they're going to put it on Brian Shaw's channel. Just 2 million subscribers. Could make a big name for yourself. Opportunities knocking. Yeah, I reckon they should go for it. They should go for it. Where have I gone? There we go. They should go for it and not appease the people that would quit on a whim. Because in my opinion, and I love a lot of these Europeans, I messaged after Georgi Svetkov's last injury. I think I've been messaging him once a week just to check in to see how he is. So I do like these Europeans. When Georgie and I hung out in Dubai, we were laughing and you know, having a lot of fun. So, yeah. And I said it years ago, I do think North America have the power. I mean, look at Mac. When Auden pulled Artem Taranenko, the numbers were huge. Huge numbers. I'm not saying they were as big as the last East versus West, but the numbers were huge. They did good business for Devon Larratt versus Artem Taranenko. And then, oh man, now I'm going into another rabbit hole because now everyone's upset because during that explosive phone call, he got upset that Devon was trying to get a match for Auden. For his son. Hey, Rick Chains. What's going on? For his son. So a lot of people whinging, in my opinion, aren't parents. Because the first time you hold your baby, you will do anything for them if you are in a position. Now, everyone's upset that Devon's going to try and get ordered matches. And he's had 2 at King of the Table. And they're like, he's taking away opportunity. Well, opportunities are rising now for those that apparently are missing out on an opportunity. The opportunities are rising for him now. Get down to the Shaw Classic. And you know what? The Artem did good numbers. And with these cards that are being booked in 15, 16, 20, 40 matches, it's not going to make a difference if Auden is one of those matches. And then for you that really hate a bit of nepotism and things like that, which, you know, it upsets a lot of sports fans, then Auden if Orton gets smoked a few times, then you don't think Devon's like, all right, we need to ease back, go to this company and get some super matches there and let's work. You don't think Devon's going to do that? Of course he is. He's not stupid when it comes to looking after his own kids. Oh my God. Well, I'm way behind in the comments. There we go. Rick Chains. So people are talking about being more strict on Devon. He gets a lot of warnings and a lot of fouls, I would say. So this one here, I think Devon should allow Europeans to bring their own refs and still eat the crow. But this is where I'm confused because Engen picked the refs. This is where I get really confused. They were Engen's refs, Engen's crew. I'm just trying to go back and think of the last 3 or 4 matches with Devon. It was all, it's the team that Engen picks under the East versus West rule set that that Engen had set. That's where I get confused about everyone complaining. It's weird. So, hot take. Engen's arm wrestling rules are good, but Engen needs to chill out and not harass people via phone calls and messages. There you go. It's an interesting take. How much is Baxter paying you to bury Engen? You must be new to my channel. Oh, man. It's so good. It's quite funny. I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments here, a lot of people that I don't know if I should bring you up because then I'm acknowledging your pathetic selves. Oh, but I'm a friendly guy. Nah, I'll hold on to that for another day. It's the Shore Classic. Out of the 3 venues, the Shore Classic makes the most sense for Devon Vitali. The Shore Classic makes the most sense. I love the storyline, and Matt Rhodes is my friend, so I love the storyline of the Siberian Power Show, the Rocky 4, just everything that come for it. So Devon knocks off all the excuses, and people can't make any more excuses. So that would be interesting. I think Azerbaijan should be off the table. No disrespect to the country, but I think with all the negotiations and the people involved and everything like that, I think that should be off the table. If it does happen in Azerbaijan, of course I'm not going to be upset. I just want to see Devon and Vitali now. I just want to see him go back and forth and have a match and see if Vitali can jump to number 2 in the world. Of course I want to see that. You'd be mad not to want to see it. So not overly bothered, but 2 things right now I think would immensely grow the sport. Number 1, are we all listening? And tell me if you agree or disagree. Oh, hang on. Wait. I'll make a poll after I say it. Let's have a look. I've missed. What else have we got? Most pay-per-views are for America. Yes, that is. If you're talking about Svekov, yes, I quite like him. If the East wants to keep arm wrestling there so bad, they should consider spending money on it. Oh. What else else have we got? Okay, I'll say my two things. Oh, chat is flying today. Chat is flying. Did anyone notice they took the rankings off the website? I never saw them on there. In the first place. I would only see it on like Facebook and Instagram. I never saw it on the website. So, two things right now. If everyone's talking about growing the sport and saving the sport, two things that you do. You have now, let me say it first and I'll explain. You have Devon Vitali at the Shore Classic. You have it there. 100%. You have it right now there, 100%. That's where you go to have it. And I can't see it that like, that's right thing. Brian Shaw, bang, so much good things happen there. That's exactly where you have it if you want to grow the sport. And two, one person that lives and breathes the sport needs to stop crying and attacking everyone and deleting comments. What he needs to do is ring the Europeans and say, go to East versus West, go back to it, and we can work something out. I'll work something out with management. We'll go in there. And if it wasn't orchestrated, you could just send them a bottle of wine or something. Say, I appreciate your loyalty, but that's not what's good for the sport. I appreciate you publicly saying something, but that isn't good for the sport. Let me deal with my old friend who bought the company off me, and we go from there. And let's get the band back together. Let's have that Devon Vitali at the Shore Classic, and then let's get some future matches down the road. Maybe Azerbaijan will see you in September or October and something like that. And then we'll be back in Istanbul in December, and then we're back in America in February. That's what should happen, in my opinion. And I would love to know what Brian Shaw thinks of all this. I wonder if Brian has buyer's regret and just went, geez, I've been here for a cup of coffee and it's bloody Lord of the Flies around here. That I would be interested. Now, let me go back. Okay. 100%. Imagine having 18 events but not doing one bit of personality development with the athletes. We're on the same level. Aussie ArmWrestler needs someone to get hold of Shaq and set up the super match with Brian Shaw. Devon once said Shaq had the most raw power. Yeah, I know. Devon arm-wrestled Shaq. That was really cool. And I always tease Ian Carnegie for losing to Shaq. Shaq versus Mark Felix. How will Vitali get a visa? Now, to make things moving forward, my understanding is Robert Baxter was talking to US senators, wasn't organising a boycott, talking to US senators and going, right, can we get this bloke in? What does he need to do? He needs to go to this particular embassy and say that. He gets to jump the queue or whatever was said. But they were trying really hard to get a visa, and I think it got to the stage where, and I could be wrong, but it almost got to the stage where the ball's in your court, Vitali. You got to go do this. And then Morozov did a big post, and I think there's a bit of miscommunication going on. The only way to save the sport is through Robert, Devon, and Brian Shaw, period. Engan blew all of his money away in his new home car and air job. He isn't putting a league together anytime soon. I think, with that, Mark, I do think there'd be some sort of no-compete clause in there. Now, down the road, if we can't get everyone back together, go for it. Go for it. That would be cool. That would be cool, in my opinion. There's so many comments. Nobody except the Americans themselves is interested in Brian Shaw. I just need to check something. So I'm on Instagram. Brian Shaw. So on Instagram, 1.9 million followers. Not bad. Okay, if only 1.9 million Americans are interested in Brian Shaw, yeah, I think I might want to use him. And then if I go to his YouTube, well, it's Shaw Strength, isn't it? I got so many subscriptions. I need to delete a lot of these. I just find it funny. What's this one? Shaw Strength, 2.21 million subscribers. Yeah, okay. And now if they're only Americans, albeit. Yeah, but so RHPC says, what idiot recorded a private conversation with Engen? Well, if you're getting abused on the phone and fear for your life, you never know. I don't know if Ted was fearing for his life. He doesn't seem too bothered. Yeah, I know. I hope not Automati. Yeah, I hope he doesn't get run. I hope Brian Shaw doesn't get run out of the sport. I really hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't. So Sebastian says, I've come around to the idea that Europeans have some valid gripes about the new ownership. Timely payment, clear lines of communication. Of course, with things like that, 100% a reason to get annoyed. But they're all blaming Devon. Devon doesn't pay anyone. That's where the miss thing has happened. So clearly there's been an objective sent by someone to say this is all. Now, there was some meeting that happened afterwards. And once again, I think this has all blown up over some miscommunication. Clearly some egos have been involved. But, man, it is interesting. What else have we got? Arm wrestling doesn't need more European viewers. It needs new American viewers who will pay to watch. Yeah. It's funny how people are getting annoyed that. So I watched the video, John, and I found it interesting. You know, Robert Baxter it was Robert, and there was four of them, Robert, Engen, and things like that. And, you know, Robert was saying, I watch how you are with the athletes, you know, and you look after them and things like that. And Robert was talking about making profits and whatnot. So my opinion is Engen was paying the athletes a lot of money, but they weren't making profit. So he was getting investors somewhere. Right, pay him, and not worrying about a business model. And then maybe, once again, my opinions, and I could be wrong, but maybe Engen might have thought, well, Robert will come in and pay the bills. He's got a lot of money. We can pay the athletes lots of money. And then Robert went, hang on, this isn't making sense. We need to make a profit. We need some sustainability to continue. We can't be losing X amount of money every show. And then it all spiraled from there, in my opinion. What else have we got? What else have we got? Oh, man. Comments are flying. Okay. So interesting take there from Mark. So you reckon 30,000 pay-per-views were sold each time at $20 a pop? 600 grand. So then how much is you paid everyone? See, I'm always fascinated in stats and numbers and things like that. So, Jake, if you're one of the athletes who had valid gripes, how would you have gone with it? Are you talking about the two gripes you were talking about earlier? Well, I'll do what I did in the past. I went up. I either confronted the promoter in person, come with me, sit down. Why aren't I getting paid? When are you going to pay me? I need this money and I need it now. Why are you ignoring me? This is silly. I've had it happen with multiple promotions. I've had things like that. Poor communication. And you try and message and you try and call. Now, people message me and said, I'm never supporting that again. I said, no, don't do that. The problem is with me. The problem is with me. The problem isn't with all of you. The problem is with me. So don't boycott them because something's gone wrong by me. Thank you, but don't do it. These are true facts, what I'm saying now. This is what I've done in the past. And I've called and negotiated and go, right, okay, you can't pay me a big lump of sum now. Pay me $100 a week. Pay me $100 a week until it's paid off. You can do that. I don't, look after him, give him his lump sum, give him a lump sum, give me $100 a week. And some promoters have done that. Right, we'll pay every fortnight. I said, right. And if you miss a fortnight or if you make a weekly payment, I may have to come public with it because I'm getting annoyed. I've got a family to feed. But you give, and I don't know what's happened with the athletes, but you give chances and you give a lot of time. You don't manipulate a company for months on end, sell it, think you're still the boss, try and get things your own way. It doesn't happen and organise a boycott. No. I'm a bit old-fashioned. I've got a problem. Right. Here we go. And I've tried working with people that hate me. I've tried messaging. Let's work together. Let's work together. And I've tried it. The messages have been deleted and the accounts have been blocked. But I have tried in the past with multiple people. So anything I'm saying now isn't new, only if you're new to the channel. But you just address the source straight away. Work out payment plans. Work something out. Now, I know a lot of the situations where there was a change from paying cash in hand to them being paid in bank accounts. I know a lot of athletes were upset with that. Well, I've heard a lot of athletes. I'm trying to say some things. So, okay, I have missed. Okay, there we go. Okay, what's everyone saying? Just reading something. I'm just trying to make it so it's good. Okay, well, they could probably get the visa to future events in USA, but to August 15th, it is impossible. With good passports, have no clue how ridiculously hard it is to get into certain countries. I know, but they have been trying for weeks. They've been trying. When was the last East versus West? I know they've been going there. Yeah, look, I know a lot of people want the financials released. I would only want the payments and everything done. You know, when they went from $10 to $20 and that slow growth, that's what I want to know why. Then it's like, okay, why are you doing that if I'm not seeing increased production, things like that? If you're just paying the athletes more, then I'm not all for that. So I am for and against this comment. So if it just stays at $20 now for the next couple of years, knock yourself out. I don't care. I know how much a lot of them are getting paid, but then if it goes from 20 US to 25 US, all right, I need to see some numbers. I need to see some numbers. Yeah, I do. I do. But I don't know every story. I know quite a lot. But I think there's been a lot of jumping the gun. No worries, mate. No worries. Okay. How about Devon and Vitali pull an old venue and live stream it at the Shore Classic? So they find neutral ground. Okay. Yeah, but Devon's really good with the crowd, as in, like, after the event, speaking to all those athletes. But that's not the worst idea. That's not the worst. They go to Dubai. They both go to Dubai. It's a bit of travel for both of them. They can both pick a referee each, and they flip for the side of the table. They flip who starts off as head ref because the refs swap rounds. It's not the worst idea. I haven't thought it through, but it's not the worst idea. What else have we got? Because I won't go for too much on. I've been banging on for too much, and I know we've just been having a chat and a laugh. But yeah, you guys have you guys are hopefully grown adults and can make your own decisions about everything that's happened. Yeah. Hopefully, when I do my next live Monday night, we can talk about something fun. I have had a lot of fun over the next few days. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I have 20. There's 10 things there. There's a couple more. You know what I mean? Like, shit's just weird. It was just weird. You know, I don't condone any of that behavior. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of bullies. You know, it's just not my cup of tea. I don't like it. So we'll have to have some fun. It's it's very, very interesting. It's very interesting to see how it all goes. But, g'day, Major. I was just wrapping up the show. We've had a bit of a chat. Been going for an hour and 20 minutes, though. I'll probably be live Monday night. Not sure what time. I like to do my 7 p.m. Eastern time slot. But we'll have to work out what the next step going forward is. And if I said it once, I've said it a million times. So we'll go have Devon Vitali at the Shore Classic, if viable, obviously, with the visas. But we need a bit of effort from all ends. And number 2, mate, instead of crying and worrying about what I'm doing, Go ring all the European athletes and tell them, hey, come on now. Let's not all leave. Let's not all leave. Let's stick with them. I'll work it out with management. I'll work out a deal with them. But no, it's not going to do that. Yeah. I think we're in a good place. Just need to make something out of all the momentum. Everything that's going on right now, all I see is opportunity for athletes. A lot of athletes complain that they're not getting a shot. I think this is a really good opportunity to make new stars. This is a really good opportunity. If I were a half-decent athlete, I would be straight on the phone to the Shaw Classic management and I would invest in myself and go, right, I'll pay for my flights and accommodation, give me a match at the Shaw Classic, and I'll put on a show. You know what I mean? Like, look at Ricard Bournemouth. He's not the best in the world, but everyone wants to see what his next match is. Everyone was excited for his debut against Don Underwood, and he won that. A lot of people were excited about his match with Wallace Dilly, and he won that. And then he calls out Schoolboy. You mean now? So he's gone out and built himself some social media. He's gone out and built himself up. So, you know, he's not top 10 in the world, but we're all interested in this journey. We're all up and about to see, and I like that. So that's a good platform. So if I was around that level, I would be on the phone big time. Get me to Shaw Classic. I can put on a show in front of everyone there for you. Here's who I think I'd have a really good match with. You go to town. It is great. Okay. I'm not too sure. I'd love to get Matt Rhodes on, just not sure. Not sure. Not Brian Shaw when he'll come on. But yeah, I'd love to get Matt on. He'll come on when he's ready. So hopefully sooner rather than later. Okay. You guys are amazing. Hope you're all going good. I hope you all don't convert to slap fighting. Hope you all don't convert to slap fighting. Hope you all don't get sick of what's happened over the last weekend and see a bunch of jabronis slapping themselves. Yeah. Or get heavily invested in Jake Paul boxing matches. Although I'm a sucker sometimes, I do watch it. He's become nationally ranked now. But we'll see. Stick fat. We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. Yeah. All right. I'm out of here. Nah, you guys are awesome. Whether you love me or you hate me or you just kind of like me. You guys are awesome. Take care. I'll see you sooner rather than later.